Oh wow. I can do a 360-degree turn. Literally. Yes, everyone, over here is the MG4. Looks just as orange as your favorite Lamborghini, guys. Except this is, well, it may not be a Lamborghini, but it sure does perform like one, and I'm not joking, guys. I had a chance to drive it briefly, and we're gonna test drive this thing, and I'm gonna show you all what I'm talking about. Now, it drives like a Lamborghini, but desirability, you all be the judge. By now, you are all aware that Tesla must have built the first ever desirable electric cars. Many years ago, we were all thinking, nope, electric cars are no-go because they're just going to be boring eco boxes from Japan. But today, we have some interesting choices that are groundbreaking, guys. And when I say interesting, I'm also talking about value for money, right? Affordability, right? Okay. The biggest problem with electric cars of today is they may look gorgeous and everything. They're eco-friendly. They're good for the air quality, but they come at a price. But MG has taken a very different approach to this whole thing, guys. MG has done something completely different. Now, they've been building cars that are great value for money, well priced, but at a cost of quality. You can tell sometimes, right? And their identity as well, right? It's not the good old MGs from the 1960s that were all British and everything. No, guys. MG is adamant to be itself. So what they've been doing so far is electric crossover SUVs or hybrid crossover SUVs. Okay, now for a price of 34,000 euros, is this MG4 good value for money or not? Well, judging by its reputation, in terms of equipment, I'm sure it is going to be good value for money, but there's also another thing you guys have to know. This is a top-of-the-range MG4, guys. I've never heard of this before. A top-of-the-range electric car for 34,000 euros. Unheard of. Let's see if it is what it is, guys. Let's see if this MG4 has what it takes to be the most interesting electric car currently available here in the EU market. Let's check it out. Just their biggest problem appears to be identity, and they seem to draw too much inspiration from what other car manufacturers are doing. Now, let's just talk about the rear, alright? Looking at this reminds me of Toyota. 360-degree parking cameras available, guys, but parking sensors are only at the rear, not at the front, guys. So, yes, it's, you know what, to be honest, I was kind of expecting something like that. Yeah, it's fine, it's not really something to question. Otherwise, you get wonderful LED lights, guys. They look just as good. Now, this particular paint is orange. It's wonderful. It pairs very well with the electric car theme and the style of it. But then you get this proud plastic down there. Now, the presence of hard plastic isn't so bad. I'm interesting how they've added this carbon fiber effect down there. It's a bit cute. And I say cute because it's not real carbon fiber, but they've tried it anyways. So, yeah, a bit pointless, but cool at the same time. But what's even more interesting is what you get above right here, guys. Now, you only get keyless entry for the front, but not for the rear, guys. The only thing I'd like to question is the fact that this air vent is fake, guys. And, yeah, there's some air vents down there that appear fake. We're going to explore the interior, and this is where things get very interesting, guys. To start this MG4, you basically have to sit inside the car. You don't have to push any start button. Literally, no start stop. Let's do it right now, guys. But before doing so, I just want to show you all the interior of this MG4. Looks really, really interesting in its own ways. It's unique in its own ways. A bit typical for electric cars. I noticed electric car manufacturers have developed an obsession with the massive spacing going on right here. Yeah. Electric seating adjustments, fully electric, no seating memory, no lumbar support, but you do not need that. It's already generous enough. Nice leather seats with fabric in the middle, and you get some blue stitching on the side, guys. Wow. Like, literally, no start-stop button, guys. I just sit inside and the car fires up itself. Yes. It's really interesting. And in order to get it going, you have to push the brakes, and then only to loosen the steering wheel. You hear that sound? And it's been ready. And the steering wheel loosens, alright? So that's when you're ready to go. The concept of this interior is very similar to other electric cars. So there's not much originality, if you want me to be honest. And that too, it looks exactly like what Japanese competitors have been doing. And the South Korean competitors as well. Because I know the Japanese and the South Koreans are obsessed with having space in the middle. Well, at least the Japanese are.
Whereas the European competitors, they love having a cocooned center here, the whole thing cocoon you, and they love having extended armrests, which this MG4 lacks. Oh, speaking of practicality, guys, you get this wireless telephone recharge, and it's been generous to generously charging my telephone. Wonderful. 12-volt socket down there, USB points, guys, and you get the cup holders right here. Ooh, additional space here, but the way it opens is, wow. Oh, this is very nice. That's convenient. Just, why have it all the way down there? Like, wouldn't it be nicer to have it a bit elevated or something for additional space, you know? Anyways, little storage space right here for your cards. Then, deep central console storage. It's not very, well, yeah, it's actually good for its price and segment. Too bad this doesn't extend, but it's still good. Although something about it feels rather, I don't know, it's not squidgy enough. I feel like this is a bit substandard. It's not what I'm used to seeing in other competitors of today, because most car manufacturers tend to put more emphasis, like they make it smart, or they make it squidgy, or they make it extendable or something. They have smart features, but this is just basic. Glove box right here, guys. The glove box is average for its price and segment, although it's a bit shallow to me. Yeah, and door bin, I'm sure it can't fit a big water bottle in there, but at least it extends until here, so to me it's a bit average. Now we have to check out the infotainment system and the instrument cluster. Now, for today's generation, I feel like the instrument cluster is a bit small compared to what I've seen of other. Yeah, it's a bit small, but I guess it's primarily for displays of speed and the road sign recognition and everything and all the controls. Whereas additional controls should be on the infotainment system, guys. So this is, yeah, it's quite nice. It's good. The infotainment system seems average for its for today's generation. Like, it seems good, it's engaging and everything. It's not very colorful compared to what other competitors offer, but it's fine. And it does the job. It gets the job done, all right? Oh, we have to check this out. My favorite feature, 360-degree parking camera. It's very useful, guys, 360-degree parking cameras. But the only questionable is that the front one seems surrounded by the... Oh, there's a bird. It seems surrounded by the body paint, guys, but it shouldn't be a big deal. Oh, and you can choose which camera you want to look from, so... Oh, that's quite a nice feature. It's very flexible. I like that, actually. I like it. Okay, so infotainment system is good, but just the only problem I find with it is that it's too horizontal. It's a bit small, you know. It's a bit like a small tablet, a flat tablet. I prefer something a bit big, because most car manufacturers tend to have a big tablet in the middle, and MG has resorted to only giving this, despite it being the top of the range. You don't get a sunroof or panoramic roof, speaking of top range, guys, but otherwise you do get additional storage space right here, and it's quite well built. It's quite nice. It's time for me to test drive this MG4. All right, so gonna put my seatbelt. We roll. So as I've stated, I do not have to really touch anything to start the car. See for yourself, everyone. So yep, it directly jump it to driving, and it disengages all the brakes and everything. So the parking brake and the parking brake on the transmission. So yes, automatically we can get going. So I'm going to accelerate from 0 to 30 kilometers per hour, and I'll let you know how it is, guys. So 3, 2, 1. Ah! So it seems like it's okay. So one thing I've remarked is that whenever it moves or whenever you accelerate, there's this sound of a jet engine or something. It sounds like a jet engine ready to fire up and take off or something. So it's like, wait, let me try something. One thing that should be remarked is that the accelerator is spot on. Like, push the accelerator and it will accelerate. It will move. Not a single nanosecond of lag. Not a lag. Wow, it's good. It's really, really precise. It's really good. Now, it does accelerate, not a nanosecond of a lag, but the speed of acceleration is not on par with what I've experienced before. Like, let me try something. Okay, so one thing I can already establish to you all is that the acceleration is there, but it's not very speedy. So don't expect it to go like a sports car or a rocket, you know, at a high speed or something. It accelerates eventually, like it goes faster and faster eventually. But when you push the accelerator pedal, at least it doesn't have a second of a lag. There's no lag. Directly, it goes on the move. Directly. Okay, that's a plus. Now, let's get down to driving, guys. So we're cruising. Now in a moment, I'm going to test the emergency brake, guys. So we're gonna stroll in the park. Just a stroll in the park. And then brake. Wow. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Try this again. We're strolling in the park. If you want to accelerate, the car can accelerate. If you want to do an emergency brake, the car can do an emergency brake. Just whenever you do an emergency brake with this MG4, there will be a nanosecond of a screech, but otherwise it comes to a halt directly. It acts judging by what you decide. If you want to brake, it will brake. Especially in emergency brake, guys. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, it's flawless. So now let's just see what suspension is like, guys. It seems to be on the sporty side, guys. So it's very good for maneuverability, very good for driving on roads with steep bends and everything. It's really, really nice, guys. It's very pleasant to drive. I like it. It's a very good feature. The sporty setup of the suspension, very nice, because if it was all comfort oriented, it would bring migraines, it would bring a headache to everyone, guys. Let's do a U-turn, guys. Now let's see what the U-turn is like. All right, so for this segment, I'm expecting something very maneuverable, guys. So let's see what the U-turn is like. Oh my goodness! Oh, wow. I can do a 360-degree turn. Literally. Let's do this again, guys. 360-degree turn. 360-degree turn. Can it do it? Can it do it? Can it do it? Oh my goodness. Guys, I have to check something out. We have to check something out together. So that's the car, and it would go until here, where you see this mark, and it wouldn't even go until there. Oh my goodness. Like, look, let's take a look at the road. Take a look at the road. I've test driven many cars for U-turns and everything, and the majority of them would always go near that bend, especially the Ford Ranger Raptor. It went almost very close to that bend. Or, in average, they always go until here, okay? Until here. But this MG has a very small turning radius. You can do a 360-degree turn, and it's all the way until here. Literally. Literally. That too, for standards of electric cars, it performs surprisingly well. It accelerates when you need it to. It does the emergency brake at the spot where you need it to. And also the 360-degree turn. It's flawless. And now the sports setup of the suspension is good, but just the only thing is, bear in mind, you will feel the bumps, guys. Whenever you drive in city, whenever you drive in roads that's not well maintained, yes, you will feel the bumps. Just the only problem I'd like to remark is the indicator. I think the whole car can hear the indicator.
I've never heard an indicator this loud, guys. I mean, you don't need a loud indicator, do you? Anyways, let's test the acoustics. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Okay, so the acoustics in this car is not as average as what I've experienced in other cars. It's not really the same thing, but it is better than what I had experienced in a Suzuki once. Oh my goodness, the acoustics. And it's better than the Nissan X-Trail as well, by the way. You don't hear your voice echoing, but in this car, you hear your voice echoing a little bit more than average cars, because average cars don't have echoing voices inside. But it's not a very big deal. It's just something I thought I'd remark, guys. The conclusion of the MG4, everyone. I have to say the MG4 is really, really unique in its own ways, and it's one of the best electric cars currently available, and I can confirm, because it's the only electric car I've known, and basically one of the only cars I've known that can do a 360-degree turn. It's wonderful, guys. And yeah, it's quite a lot of aspects about it is average for what it is. It's like it's not the most practical, it's not the most stylish, it's not the most of anything. It's kind of got a bit of all trades, but in a fashion where it's good value for money, and you don't really have to question much of it. It is what it is. My humble opinion of this MG4, my humble opinion is that I love it. I love this MG4, guys. It's one of the best electric cars available today at a very low cost. For a price of 34,000 euros, is it good value for money or not? You know what I think? I think it's great value for money. It's one of the best value for money electric cars you can find in today's generation. If A to B is your thing, guys. If you don't care about style, you don't care about identity, this is the car for you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run, guys. I'll see you all next time.